Hi guys, this is Captain Ibrahim Traoré, and he is the president in transition of Burkina Faso. Now, usually, when you see African leaders, especially if they're wearing these kind of military fatigues, you just know that they are all mostly they're like killers and psychopaths. But this guy is different. Like I personally feel this guy is different, and that's because I have this video of him. So let's check out this video of him.
I am Ibrahim Traoré, and today I'm pulling off your masks. Here are the numbers for you, real numbers. Africa owns 70% of the world's cobalt reserves. Your cell phone, your computer, your electric car won't work without cobalt. This cobalt comes from Congo, but Congolese can't afford cell phones. Africa owns 90% of the world's platinum reserves. Catalytic converters, electronic devices, medical implants, they all need platinum. This platinum comes from South Africa, but South Africans are crushed by unemployment. Africa provides 30% of the world's gold production. Mali, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Tanzania. Gold flows like rivers from our lands, but our people swim in poverty. Africa supplies 65% of the...
He is a really eloquent speaker, and not like the usual African leaders who are struggling with English language. This guy is comfortable and confident in his speech, and he's giving out all these data. I will have to check whether the data is correct, but the confidence with which he delivers his speech, you just know that this guy means business, right?
Africa supplies 65% of the world's diamond production. Botswana, Angola, Congo, Sierra Leone, billions of dollars worth of diamonds are extracted, but our miners live on $1 a day.
Speaking of diamonds, remember all that story about blood diamonds coming out of Sierra Leone? Yeah, there's a lot of diamond mines in Africa, and yet the miners, the people who actually get the diamonds, they make like $1, like as he's saying, probably less than $1.
Billions of dollars worth of diamonds are extracted, but our miners live on $1 a day. Africa owns 35% of the world's uranium reserves. Niger, Namibia, South Africa. Nuclear plants run on our uranium. Paris lights burn with our uranium, but our villages have no electricity. And you still ask, why is Africa poor? No, the right question is, how was Africa kept poor while being so rich? Here's your answer. Colonialism didn't end. It changed shape. You used to come and occupy our lands. Now you come and establish companies. You used to take by force. Now you make agreements. You used to rule with the whip. Now you rule with credit. Let me give you concrete examples. With numbers, names, dates, but you'll never write about these. Glencore, Swiss-based mining giant, extracting cobalt in Congo, 2022 revenue.
Yeah, I mean, companies have been looting Africa for many, many years, and we all know that it's been happening in front of us. Nobody much cares about what's happening in Africa, right? But maybe leaders like this, if you have more leaders like this, then people will start looking. See, this is the global south that our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has been talking about. We need to uplift the global south. We need to bring development to the people of Africa. The people of Africa have suffered a lot, notwithstanding the fact that, most of their sufferings were created by them. But still, I mean, Africans deserve the good Africans, the ones who are just trying to get by, just trying to lead a good life. They need to have a good life. They need to be uplifted from their poverty.
These. Glencore, Swiss-based mining giant, extracting cobalt in Congo, 2022 revenue, $256 billion, a tax paid to Congo, $500 million, that's 0.2%. Is this justice? Rio Tinto, British-Australian mining giant, extracting bauxite in Guinea, 20 million tons annually. What's left for Guinea? Environmental pollution and cancer. Total, now Total Energies, French oil giant, extracting oil in Angola, Nigeria, Congo. 2022, profit, $36 billion investment in Africa, dirty pipelines, Anglo-American, founded in South Africa but now in London. Diamonds, platinum, iron, taking everything. What it left in South Africa? 6 million unemployed miners. And these are just the tip of the iceberg. What about the invisible, the secret deals, the offshore accounts, the transfer pricing tricks? Every year, $88 billion in illegal money flows out of Africa. Who writes about this? Every year, $45 billion in aid comes to Africa. Everyone writes about this, but no one says Africa is not the continent receiving aid, it's the continent giving aid.
So here's Brock's take on the speech. The AI generated videos claims about Africa's resources are mostly accurate, but slightly exaggerated. Cobalt is 57-70%, DRC dominates. Platinum 80-90%, gold 20-25%, not 30%, diamonds 65, and uranium 35%. Exploitation by companies like Glencore is documented, but poverty also stems from local governance and economic factors. The $88 billion outflow and the 45 billion aid figures are close to estimates, though the giving aid narrative oversimplifies complex flows. See, this is another problem with such
I am
leaders,
Ibrahim Traoré.
in the sense that, yeah, he is spitting facts and he is giving out a lot of truths. And but what happens when these guys comes to power? It's the same cycle of corruption and violence. So whatever he's saying, it's good, but we still have to be very careful in handing power to these people, because look at South Africa. Look at South Africa. The Boers, like the white South Africans, they at one point of time they committed a lot of violence on the blacks, and now the blacks are killing the white farmers. We'll do a separate video on that, but I just brought it up to show that even though these people, they mean well maybe, but in action you don't see all of this knowledge or all of these insights, because they all behave the same way: corrupt, make cutting deals with companies, and they themselves make billions of dollars, right? This guy has makes a lot of good points. And seriously, when you're taking hundreds of billions of dollars worth of resources out of Africa, and then you give them like $45 billion or $1 million of aid, people write about that, but nobody writes about all these companies who are bleeding Africa dry. Uh, there are people who will claim that, oh, the Africans, they don't have the talent, they don't have the skill or the technical know-how to get to all these resources. That's up to the Africans to decide. That's up to them. But still, I mean, when we see all these African migrants running rampant in European cities, European countries and cities, misbehaving with ladies, misbehaving with people, just stabbings and knife fights breaking out in the street. Just recently in France, we saw a huge riot. In UK, almost every weekend there are like huge riots breaking out, huge protests. So maybe it's time that we send the Africans back to Africa and let them work for their country, right? Let them contribute for the development of their country. And that can only happen when you stop destroying Africa.